So there is a lot of freedom when you are on a journey to discover who you truly are at like a deep level, right? For me, that's looked like asking God, who have you made me to be? What unique gifts do I have? And how can I share those with others? And so I've been on this journey, just starting out, of sharing my stories, sharing myself with people online. I've been doing this in very informal ways with people I know, right? You go out to lunch with a friend, you have a chat with a coworker, or you run into someone like a stranger and you have a conversation, right? I'm not necessarily the best at this. I'm not extroverted by any means. But I love these kinds of conversations with people who I know and trust and who can communicate back to me in this way. I don't know when as a kid I learned this, but through watching films, I learned that there is power in stories. And growing up as a Christian in the church, that's something that we talk about a lot, right? In Christian circles, you talk about your testimony, right? This idea that you've experienced things as a person on this earth. And as a Christian, I believe God is intimately involved in things that happen, right? I don't think he is hands off on this world. I think he is guiding people and pulling people in the direction that he wants, right? Or it's like a whisper, right? Whispering that, giving them insight. I do feel like I get insight from God. Now, whether we are paying attention to that voice is another thing, whether we are being obedient in that or choosing our own selfishness or our own through immaturity, where we're saying, no, I know better, I'm going to do this, right? That's a whole other thing. But yeah, stories are really powerful. And I wish I was better at just like telling stories. I know a guy who he has a story for everything, right? Sometimes it can be a little obnoxious, but there's power in that, right? There's power in connecting things in your life to a story or to someone else's life and things that they've gone through. Is there a story that you need to share? A story that you need to tell? It may be good to start, before you just start spouting off a story to someone, it may be good for you to tell your story to yourself. I've been going through, I don't do this perfectly, but I have, in the last 6 or so months, discovered journaling. I always thought journaling was weird and I never did it. And then I saw this guy who was kind of teaching you how to journal through what he calls layers of yourself, essentially. And I started journaling, and you go layer by layer and you pull back so many emotions and so many things that you're not aware of, right? There's so much that comes out from that process. And it's been really cool, and it's helped me a lot, right? Because it's so easy to ignore the emotions that we have, the things that we're feeling. And so we lie to ourselves, right? And in fact, we're always telling a story, but often it's a false story. We're telling lies to ourselves. And so there is a process, and I would encourage you to embark on that. What is the truth? Who has God uniquely made you to be? What unique gifts, right? And I'm not saying I as an artist, as a creative, I can do this. It's yeah, sure, everyone can do that. But I mean very unique, right? Because I believe each person is on this earth for a unique purpose. And so what is that for you? What is that thing that you've been afraid to step into? What is that thing that's hidden deep down that is there, but you got to discover it. You got to figure that out. What does that look like? That would be my encouragement for you, is to begin telling that story to yourself. And sometimes we don't know where to start. I think talking to God, having a conversation with him, asking him to reveal that story to you is a great first step. But as creatives, there's so much unlocked when we can express ourselves from a true place of who we are, right? When we know who we are at a deeper level. I'm barely 30. I don't know how this changes, this self-discovery, if it changes over time. Does it get easier? I don't know. I don't know if I felt like it gets any easier. When you have had significant discovery of self, let me finish that sentence. When you have significant discovery of self, I think it gets easier to discover more and deeper truths about yourself. I'm sure you've seen an older person who is towards the end of their life, unhappy, ungrateful. They've pushed all the people that have been in their life out, and they do not know who they are. And they do not know why they are here, what their existence is for. And they're angry about that. And they're bitter and they're hurt and they're sad. And they lash out at people, right? And I'm sure you've met a young person who is a vibrant person and can look you in the eyes, and you see that they care genuinely about you. And they're living out their story by caring for others. So I don't think age matters in this. I think you can do a poor job of self-discovery for your entire life. And I think you can do a really good job of self-discovery all throughout your life, and especially in the early stages. So that'd be my encouragement: is who has God made you to be? What is He pulling you towards that leads you to a deeper sense of yourself? If you enjoyed this, thank you for watching, and I'll see you again soon.